In today's video, we are going to learn how to find the range and domain of a function from a graph. Now remember, the x values will give the domain of a function and the y values will give the range of the function. So let's get started. First, focus on finding the domain of a function. Now, the lowest x value for this function is -3 and the highest x value is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now this is a continuous graph, correct? So the domain will be written as from -3 to 5. Now how to write the brackets? Now you see here at -3 there's a closed circle, so we will be using a square bracket. And at 5 there is again a closed circle, so again we will be using a square bracket. That means -3 and 5 are included in the solution. So this is domain. Now let's focus on finding the range. For that we have to find the y values. So the lowest y value here is -3 and the highest y value here is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the range will be written as from -3 to 4, and -3 is included, 4 is also included as there are closed circles at them. And this is the range for the function. Clear? Okay. Now let's move to the next example and find the domain. For that, what we have to do? We have to focus on the x values. So the lowest x value here is -4 and the highest x value here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So the domain will be written as from -4 to 6. What about the brackets? Now at -4 there is an open bracket. So we will use the parentheses. And 6 there is a closed circle. So we will use the square bracket. So be careful while writing the brackets. So this is domain. Now what about the range? The range focus on y values. So the lowest y value here is this here, and it is -3, and the highest is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it will be from -3 to 5, and -3 is not included and 5 is included, and this is range of the function from graph. Clear? Let's move to next example and find the domain. Now you see for domain, the lowest x value is -3, and what can you say about the highest value, x value? See here, it's an arrow. That means it's keep going towards right side. And right side, infinity, plus infinity. Clear? So the domain will be from -3 to infinity. Now at -3 there is a closed circle. So -3 is included and infinity. So this is domain. Now remember, next to infinity always use the parentheses. Clear? So this is a domain. Now let's find the range. For range, focus on the y values. So the lowest y value here is 1, and what is the highest y value? See, arrow is going. It's going towards plus infinity. So the range will be from 1, which is included, till infinity. So this is range. I hope it's getting clear. Let's move to next example and find the domain. Try it by yourself. Now for the x values, the lowest x value, see, there's an arrow. It's moving towards left side, that is minus infinity. And what about the highest x value? Again an arrow. So towards plus infinity. So the domain will be from minus infinity to plus infinity and this brackets. Clear? So this is domain. Now what can you say about the range? The range is finding the x value. So the y value. So the lowest y value here is here. So it is minus 3, which is included. And what can you say about the highest y value? See, there are arrows is towards plus infinity. So it will be from minus 3, that is included, infinity. And this is range. Fine? Okay. Now, yes, here's a different example. Let's try it. Let's find the domain first. For that, x values, let's see here. It's a x value for the first, this graph, first part of the graph, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and minus 6. And it ends here at minus 2. And what can you say about the second function? So it's again starting from minus 2 and it ends at 3. Clear? So if you see, it's a continuous graph. Though it seems like a break in between, but it's a continuous graph for domain, for finding the domain. See, if you want to check it on number line, see here, plot the number line for the first graph. That is from minus 6 to minus 2. Now, for the second function, it's from minus 2 to 3. So, see, it's a continuous graph. From where? From minus 6 to 3. So, the domain will be from minus 6 to 3. And at 6, it's open bracket. So, it's not included. At 3, there's a closed bracket. So, it is included. So, this is domain. Now, find the range. For range, focus on y values. So the y value here is 1, 2, 3 and minus 4 and it ends here at minus 1. This is for the first function. Now see, for the second function, here it starts from 2 and it ends at 4. Correct? Now you see, between minus 1 and 2 here, there's no graph. So how to write the range? So we will use union. Now you see it minus 4 to minus 1. Minus 4 is not included. Minus 1 is included. Now after that there's no graph there. Correct? So we will use union. And after that 2 is not included whereas 4 is included. And this is range. Very clear, right? Let's move to next example. In this function, you can see there are 3 functions. There is a break in the graph. So let's check the domain first. For that, check the x values. So the first function starts from minus 6. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and minus 6. Yes. And it ends at minus 3. And the second one starts from minus 2 and ends at 2. And the third one, it starts from 4 and there's an arrow moving towards right, that is infinity. Correct? Now, how to write the domain? It's minus 6, minus 3 from the first function and 6 is included. See, there's a closed circle. So, it's included. Minus 3 is not included. There's an open circle. Now, see, there's no graph between minus 3 and minus 2. There's a gap. So, how to connect? So, it is union. Clear? So, here minus 2 is included whereas 2 is not included. Again a union because there's no graph between 2 and 4. Right? So here 4 is included because there's a cross circle till infinity. And this is what? This is a domain. Clear? Okay. Now let's move to find the range. For range, focus on y-axis. Now you see here. For y, this is -4. Clear? Now what's the highest point? Highest point is not this. The highest point is here. And that is -1. So see, the first and the second function are connecting each other. They are continuous graph. And the second graph, it starts from where? It starts from -2, but we will ignore -2. Why? Because see, it's already, if you'll extend this backward, it's already there in the first function. It's already included there. So we will just take its end point, that is 1. So it is a continuous graph from -4 to 1. Clear? Is it clear? Okay. Now, for the last part here, for the third function, it starts from 2 and ends, it's a arrow here, so plus infinity. So, how we are going to write the range? It will be from -4, which is included, till 1, which is not included. Then union. Why union? Because you see, there is no graph between 1 and 2. And then 2 is included till infinity. And this is range for this function. Hope it's clear. Now let's move to next example. Now you see here, it's a straight line and with the arrow. So for domain, let's check the x values. See the lowest x value, it's moving towards left. And what about the highest x value? It's moving towards right plus infinity. So the domain is from -infinity to plus infinity. Correct? And this is domain. Now let's check the range. And for that, you have to check the y values. So domain is the lowest y value. It's going down. Right? So -infinity, and the highest y value is, it will go up. So plus infinity. So the range will be from -infinity to plus infinity. So this is range for this function. Now this is for you. This is for your homework. Find the domain and range and write it in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And do consider to like, share and subscribe.